man. Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Do us. So we are coming in with a force. Yeah. Blessings they are reaping with course.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and we are back to talk about Summer House. Okay, this is season, I don't know, but we're gonna get it right in the intro. But we are talking about episode 1 and episode 2 in this video. Okay. So, episode 1 starts out where Lindsay and Carl are showing everybody that they are living together, okay? They are not married yet, but they are living in a sexual matrimony, if you will, because Lindsay comes out in her nurse's negligee outfit, and she reveals that she does not have on any pantaloons, okay? So, they are yucking it up, effing it up, and doing whatever they want to do in their new humble abode. Okay. So then in the next scene, we are introduced to Gabby. She is a new character on the show, or well, new housemate, if you will, because she's not a character. So she's riding down to the Hamptons with Paige. So Paige met her because Gabby apparently told her her horoscope and told her about a past lives, child. So she became immediately interesting to her. Okay. So Gabby is being introduced by Paige, all right? So then we truck it on down to the house, and Amanda and Kyle are coming to the house. So they are the first ones there, of course. There's some Loverboy drinks at the front. Of course, Kyle gonna do whatever he can do to promote that daggone Loverboy child. But I love it, okay? So they come in the house and they uncover the fact that in the Hamptons, there's some new rule where you can't have more than 5 rooms, which I think that that's really messed up because the last couple of seasons, I believe they've been in this same house and it wasn't a problem before. So they've switched the rooms around. Like, I guess a bedroom is now a gym, or, you know, the house has been shape-shifted and there's been rooms that have been kind of closed off so that they can adhere to this rule that's going on in the Hamptons or whatever. So it brings it down to them only having, I think, like 4 bedrooms or something like that. So they walk into one room where it's like 2 beds in front of each other, and they were like, well, maybe the couples should be in here. And I'm like, you know what? That's a little weird because I don't want to see you canoodling, and I'm sure you don't want to see me canoodling, okay? We got to be doing that in private, you see. So that ain't gonna work, all right? So then as they're walking around and looking at the rooms, they come downstairs, and Christian, I believe that's his name, he's going to be a new housemate, okay? So he pulls up, and he is actually going to be outnumbered, apparently, by the ladies, because I don't believe Andrea is coming back. So he's going to be one of the only single guys in the house. And then there's a bunch of single women that will be in the house. I think the only single women actually would be the girl Sam. And I cannot believe I forgot the other girl's name, but I'm sure the other black girl. But anyway, he gonna be in a house with a couple of single ladies. So he might need to go ahead and play his hand. So moving on, as the episode goes along, Maya ends up showing up, and she comes in with a bottle of tequila, which, child, they thought it was some vinegar. I'm like, what type of weird stuff do this girl be on for y'all to think that she coming up in here with a bottle of vinegar? But anyway, they all take a shot of tequila. They sit down, and Maya reveals that everybody was asking, oh, okay, where's Lindsay and Carl? When are they going to get here? And Maya is like, well, you know, basically she talks about an issue that her and Lindsay had, where apparently she texted Carl about something. I don't know if they were going to hang out or whatever, or she was just texting Carl as a friend. And Lindsay got all bent out of shape and pretty much told her to leave her man alone or whatever. And Maya was like, you know, she was making it seem like I was texting him in a sexual way. And it's not like that at all. Like, me and Carl are just friends. So I don't know what's the happenings, because even Kyle was explaining to the new guy how Lindsay and Carl ended up getting together. I didn't watch Winter House that just recently passed by. And I think Winter House kind of showed their journey to making it official for the second time around. So Lindsay and Carl have always been the best of friends. And she's always been a very good friend to him. They tried a relationship before. I think Lindsay was a little too clingy for Carl, and then Carl wasn't mature enough. He wasn't really ready for no daggone relationship. And I think, this is around the time that he was really abusing other substances. But now that he is growing into himself, and kind of taking on a mature sense of life, now him and Lindsay are together. They're living together and thriving, and she is basically one of his biggest supporters. So let's keep going with this episode. Maya, oh Maya, why is your chipmunk face so annoying? I don't like her. I do not like her. I don't like her. Listen, Lindsay is not really my cup of tea either. But Maya tells the story of apparently they all went on Family Feud and they lost. And Maya and Lindsay are in the limo going back to the hotel. And she shows Lindsay a text saying, hey, I just text Carl saying, hey, maybe we'll smoke a J. Too bad we lost, but maybe we'll smoke a J. And she says she smoked several J's apparently with Carl. So I guess Carl has, moved from, the drink to the smokes. Okay. So they are, getting a little whimsical together often. Okay. So Lindsay basically tells her that it's disrespectful to their relationship for her to be texting Carl and saying stuff like that. So then, Maya is kind of taken aback from her saying that and kind of creating strict boundaries with her and Carl because she's really friendly with Carl. And, my thing is, I don't understand the supreme attachment to Carl that Maya has. Don't you got a boyfriend? I mean, I get it. You say it's not that you had any type of feelings towards Carl, but he not your bestie. I didn't get it. But anyway, moving on. So then she does say that Lindsay called her and said, are we good or whatever? And here's my thing. If you had a problem with Lindsay or you felt like you didn't really like the way that she talked to you or how she handled it, you should have said something to her right then and there. What was your response? Because you seem to be sitting around here trying to get sympathy right now. And I don't like that. I don't like it. Okay. Moving on. So Lindsay is walking. She comes in with Carl. They're walking around and hugging everybody and everything. Sam is there and she's telling her life story. Telling Paige about all her past lives because Paige asked for it. She said, tell me everything. And Sam literally told her everything. So everybody is here. They're trying to figure out the room situation. They start cooking some things and then they're talking about, so Carl goes outside to talk to, him and Lindsay are outside talking to Kyle, and he's like, man, I was interested in hanging out with some other guys this summer or whatever. And he's joking, but he's really serious because he's like, he don't know where he wants to be with Loverboy at this point. He don't know if he wants to even still work there, okay? So Kyle kind of lets that roll over his shoulder because he caught the shade and the drift that Carl was trying to throw him. And I think that, I've seen Kyle do an interview where he's kind of in limbo as to what to do. I think that he revealed on Watch What Happens Live that Carl no longer works for Loverboy anyway, which I think that it was a nice gesture for Kyle to hire Carl in the beginning. But I knew that with them being friends, it's hard to actually run a business and manage your friends. So I think it was nice for him to do what he did to try to help him to get back on his feet. But I don't think that a working relationship with those two was actually the best idea. But anyway, as Lindsay comes in the house as she's helping cook the food, she's talking about her sobriety. Apparently, she's been sober for the past 4 or 5 months, but she went to visit her Aunt Rhonda and recently had a glass of wine or whatever. She was only doing it to support Carl. So I'm just thinking to myself, girl, you gonna have a glass of wine right now. I hope you don't put your tongue down this man's throat, because that could be very detrimental to somebody that is an alcoholic if they're tasting alcohol on your breath. Okay, I hope she's very mindful of that. So as the scenes turn, Maya is now going in the room, which is going to be the all girls room. And she's sitting there talking to Paige. The girl, poor, damn near lost her whole neck tripping over the carpet to get on the bed, because I guess she must have had too much daggone tequila at this point. So she's talking to Paige, and Paige basically says, well, you need to have a conversation with Carl if you're really upset about how your relationship has changed. You know, does it really bother you? And Maya was like, yeah, it really does bother me, actually. And so she said, well, maybe I'll talk to Carl. But then they start talking about the closet situation. And I don't really like when women call each other the B word for fun. And I don't think Gabby really liked it either, because Maya was getting a little too familiar with Gabby. And Gabby looking at her like, look, sis, I know we both black and all, but what you're not about to do is keep calling me up. Okay, and you're not about to keep on being real aggressive with me, because I felt like Maya was playing with Gabby, but I think she was being a little too familiar with Gabby, and Gabby is like, well, look a little bit. I don't know you and your blonde streak. I don't know you. So you are coming for me a little too much, because I saw Gabby's face when she was trying to claim some space in the closet, and they were like, you can't do this and you can't do that. And even Paige was using the B word for fun. I think maybe because she heard Maya say it. I don't know, but that's her little friend. So maybe Gabby all right with the B word for fun. I don't know. But Gabby was looking at both of them like, and y'all expect me to sleep in a room with you two heifers? This about to be a long weekend. Child. Maya. Oh, Maya. Why, girl? First of all, did anybody notice homegirl went in the house and drank off of a bottle of wine without pouring some in her cup? She drank off the spout and put it back. Dirty. I don't like that. Me don't like that. Okay, that is dirty. We are still in the midst of some very nasty things going around in this world. And your saliva on the community alcohol, you know what? Nope, we not doing that, okay? But everybody is getting ready for the pool party of it all. People decide to feel up on Lindsay's soft pillow cushiony boobies. And, you know, Gabby is a part of that. And Carl's like, you feeling on my babe's boobs? Oh. And he goes in and goes for a little grab. So they all go outside. Maya decides after taking her swig that she wants to have a side conversation with Carl that I feel like is very pointless. She's very teary-eyed and upset. I don't know if that is a combination of the alcohol and her foolishness. But yeah, it's very weird. So Carl is looking very confused as to, you know, why are we having this conversation? Like, you and I haven't talked for months. Like, I'm a little uncomfortable. It's written all over his face. It's written all over his face. Yeah. So Carl is trying to be very, you know, not obnoxious with her and trying to hear her out. And she's like, you know, I just felt like Lindsay just talked to me like I'm just like not a human or whatever. And she just kind of like didn't want me, basically telling him that Lindsay ain't want him talking to her. But he's like, well, Lindsay is my priority, and there may have been some things going on that you didn't really know about. And, you know, basically, are you telling me to make a choice between you and my girlfriend? Because I'm definitely going to choose my girlfriend. So what the hell do you want? What do you want? Girl, get out of my face. You're doing a lot. You're being very dramatic right now. And she's like, well, you know, but we were just friends. And, you know, I've never even tried to touch you. And he's like, well, I mean, I don't know if that was explained to her, or like, maybe she doesn't know that, but, you know, maybe I could have done a better job of, I don't know. But girl, we ain't talked since LA. What's it to you? Why are you making this such a big thing right now? Like, I think Maya is very dramatic. Like, that may be what I don't like about her. She puts 10 on 20. Like, I don't understand. She makes a mountain out of a molehill. It's team too much. Girl, let them have their relationship. If she wants to set boundaries and you are just outside of that boundary, go ahead and move on. You can't sit with them. It is what it is. So Carl is confused as all get up, and he want to make sure Lindsay understands that he wasn't over there being disrespectful. So he sits her down and he says, well, she's obviously very upset, because Kyle comes over to save Carl to end this conversation because they're doing the little pool party thing. And Carl is looking very confused at Maya, and Maya's like, yeah, let's get to the pool party because this is some BS anyway. Girl, what did you I don't understand what Maya was expecting. Did you expect him to go over there and say, Lindsay, I'm going to be friends with Maya. F you. Girl, what? Maya, I don't know what's wrong with you and your wig this season. Maybe it's the blonde streak that got you tripping, but you need to get it together. Girl, sit down somewhere and drink a little less. Tequila and wine mixed together is not your friend, okay? Okay. So Carl and Lindsay sit down. And Lindsay basically expresses, she's like, listen, you know, in her confessional, she reveals that Carl was struggling at that time when homegirl was asking him to smoke a J. He was actually sober from that. He was not smoking. And Carl said that he doesn't smoke. Weed doesn't make him do the same things that alcohol did. However, he hadn't been doing that either. Okay. So of course, Maya wouldn't know to ask that, but given his issues with sobriety, I would think that she would try to think to ask questions about these things. Because if you such his friend and you care about him so much, you have to be mindful of this stuff. Like, Lindsay sat there and said she became fully sober just to support him in his endeavors. So I think that Maya is just doing a little bit too much, making this about her and just being super dramatic, and ain't nobody got time. Maya, girl, put the bottle down and go take a damn nap in your community bedroom, child. Get out of here. So Carl is walking around with a clipboard, child, because he want to make sure everybody is working out and burning off all the calories from the alcohol that they are drinking up in the pool, okay? So everybody jumps in the pool. They get out of the pool and realize it's too damn cold to be jumping in the pool. Apparently, this must be the beginning of the summer before it gets hot. So everybody goes to bed into their respective corners. Lindsay and Carl get in the bed. They're ready for berries in the morning. Chris is going to go with them. He's ex-military, so, you know, he's no stranger to getting up early in the morning and going to boot camp. So they get up, and Kyle is looking at everybody like, so, yeah, we walking around with clipboards talking about going to workouts. If this is how it's going to be, this is going to be a very boring summer. Kyle, you are about to turn 40, sir. You can't be living in a frat house all your life. You're married and possibly about to bring some children into this minutia at some point. So I'm going to need you to grow up, okay? This can still be fun without everybody getting blackout drunk every night for it to be a fun situation, okay? Y'all can still have fun, be sober sometimes, and enjoy each other's company, sir. I think Kyle is like really feeling like, let me tell you how I lost my best friend. Like, I think he really misses his friend. I think Carl has a relationship now with Lindsay. Lindsay was Carl's best friend too, but now that their relationship has taken the next level, I think Kyle feels a little left out. And I think that Kyle has probably made a lot of concessions for Carl throughout him trying to be sober and him working in the company, and he may not be really pulling his weight from what he said on Watch What Happens Live. Then you're over here losing your friend. It's like you've lost him in business. You've lost him on the fun side. You're treading lightly around him because you don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. So they go work out. They come back. Everybody is going to get dressed to start the day. Kyle is looking sad. The girls are in the room talking, and Amanda comes in to check on everybody because obviously she done put her friend Sam in there. And child, Sam don't know nobody, okay? Sam was talking to Chris the night before, and I guess he was trying to get a little figure out, you know, if she was really blonde for real, and, you know, what's her favorite color and all this, because since he the only single man up in the building, he's trying to figure out what's the goings-ons with the single ladies in the building, okay? So Sam says, you know what, everything was hunky-dory. You know, it was interesting being in a room with a bunch of women that I don't know, but everybody was very welcoming, and, you know, everyone's a great hostess, if you will. And yeah, I think this is going to be fun. So ciao. Everybody getting ready to go to the next venue. Let's see what type of cluster F they get into next. So everybody is poolside and feeling a little whimsical, if you will. So they're all drinking and having a good old time. Now, Lindsay had Carl taste something. I don't know if that was some alcohol or what, but I would hope not. But anyway, Maya, what's her name? Child. Amanda and Paige are sitting down. And Maya asks about her best friend, Craig, apparently wondering what's going on with Craig and Paige, how they're doing. Paige is like, well, everybody keeps asking us who's going to move and who to what with our relationship. Like, honestly, Paige is loving the long distance life. If he wants to come and see her, he just come on up and come and see her. If she want to go see him, she going to hop a flight and go on down to the Southern Charm to see her man, okay? They like it. I love it. Everybody need to mind your business. That's all. Just mind your business, okay? So moving on, Gabby is over there, and Kyle is the #1 wingman. I tell you, like, Kyle is probably a cool, good, best buddy male friend. He's trying to get to know Gabby, which I can appreciate. I love the fact that he's trying to get to know her. And I think Kyle wants to prevent what happened to Maya, her first season, happening to Gabby. Like, he wants to make sure that she feels comfortable within the group. So he's like, you know, what's your type? Like, you know, are you single? Who are you? You know, what's your type? She's like, I just really don't have any depth to me. Like, I don't know. And he's like, all right, let's just take a walk around and figure out. You point out casually who you would like. So, of course, they walk up to a man that is clearly not interested in anybody that is has Gabby's innards, okay? So then Chris has his friend Jerez come, and Jerez must know Carl because they're measuring each other's height and this, that, and the third. So Gabby sees him and is like, oh, well, my loins are on fire. I think I may have a match here. So Lindsay is talking to her, and she says, well, let's go over there. So they go over there. Chris is flirting with Sam, and then they're trying to make a match with Gabby and Jerez, okay? So it begins to rain, and everybody goes off to their respective little bungalow, or what, if you will, to stay dry. And Kyle is opening up to Maya. Apparently, he's a couple drinks in. And he feels like his relationship with Carl has changed substantially ever since he started dating Lindsay. And he says his performance at work hasn't been that great since he started dating Lindsay as well, because he feels like she's in his ear. And then he said last night at the house was probably the most boring time ever. And him and Maya are on the same page with thinking that it's because of Lindsay and Carl. My thing is, if y'all are allowing two people to be the definition of y'all fun, then y'all really aren't as fun as you think you are. Like, one monkey don't stop no show. If they over here in Lover's Lane, I wouldn't be allowing them to mess up my fun time. Do you, boo-boo? Have a couple drinks. Play some games. Don't worry about what they doing. Don't worry about them, sweetheart. Okay? Do what you're doing and mind your business. That's all. Kyle, I understand. Carl is your best friend. Have a conversation with your friend, dude. All this little back and forth behind his back and talking to Maya, the negative, that ain't what you want to do, sir. No. So in the conclusion of episode 1, it's basically Carl talking to Amanda, Carl talking to Lindsay, Kyle talking to Amanda, and he's pretty much at the point where he's like, Kyle is like feeling upset, like he feels like Carl is on the verge of quitting. He doesn't know how to deal with that. He feels like he's basically losing his best friend and losing an employee at the same time. So he's really struggling with that. Lindsay is outside, by the way, talking to Carl. And evidently, Carl is looking at other options. He's looking at, like, you know what? I feel the change in me and Kyle's relationship. And maybe I'd rather just be his friend and not his business partner. I really just feel like something has to give here. I'm not feeling comfortable in the skin that I'm in. And I need to make some changes. And I love how Lindsay wasn't really nudging him in any direction. She was just trying to be a supportive girlfriend and help him to make the best decision that's going to work for him overall in his life. And I think that Kyle has to understand that. Like, you made the choices that you made to marry Amanda, and I'm pretty sure everybody had their opinions about that, as they have in the past couple of seasons. So you have to allow Carl and Lindsay to make the shift in their relationship without you interfering. And I think that that is Kyle's problem, because he needs to be in control of everything that's going on around him. And when he's not, there's an issue. And then maybe he having a midlife crisis turning 40. Who freaking knows? But next, we are going to discuss episode 2 of season 7. Let's keep going. Make sure you like the video. Please like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I'm coming back on, and stay tuned for the review of episode 2.
Yeah. Work. To me, I be work. See me do me dirt. So me by that work. When you walk a line. In the cafe, drive me a dessert. Let the devil lurking. Yeah. You make a like, now you not like it. You know I dealt with you the nicest. Nobody touched me in the right. Nobody text me in a crisis. I believe that all of your dreams are duration. You took my heart, all my keys, and my patience.
Alright, so we are on season 7, episode 2, Line in the Sand. Everybody is on the beach. They are having drinks. They are having a good old time. Everybody is, vibing and doing their thing, peeing in the ocean and all that, because they done drank too much. Lover boy, child. So there's clearly an elephant in the room with Kyle and Carl, and Maya is still tripping as well. I'm like, girl, please let it go. Just let it burn like Usher. It's too much. I don't know what she wants from Carl. It's team too much. It is. But before we get to that part, so everyone's sitting down and kind of vibing, and Chris is flirting with Sam. And Sam is giving me, I'm not interested in you, Chris. Chris wants her to put lotion on his back, and she's putting lotion on his back as if he's her best friend. And she admits that he doesn't make her clitoral area float like butter, okay? So, but she was attracted to Jerez, his friend, okay, you see. And so was Gabby. So, listen, Chris, it's not going to happen for you in this season, bruh, okay? Sam isn't feeling you, and neither is Gabby, okay? So Gabby is talking to, I think, Paige? I don't know. But she's talking, and she's looking for Jerez as well. So everybody is after Jerez at this point. So Kyle and Maya have a conversation, and Maya is like, I really feel like we need to have a conversation with Carl. I think you are hurt over what's happening with Carl, and you're not saying anything. And, I'm hurt over it too, but obviously you guys were closer than me and Carl are. I think that, we should have a conversation with him. And Kyle says, you know what? You're right. I'll have a conversation with Carl. You have a conversation with Lindsay. And the whole time, Lindsay and Carl are, oh, I love you, babe. Oh, my God, babe. You're so cute, babe. Oh, babe. They're so in love. I'm like, girl, guys, it's team too much. But, whatever. Go on. Set yourself off. So, Kyle and Carl have a conversation. Carl is basically letting Kyle know that he's feeling underappreciated. He's feeling overworked, underappreciated, probably feeling underpaid and underrecognized, okay? And Kyle is looking at him like, well, I feel like you're doing what I'm paying you to do. And do you need a parade for me to show you how much I appreciate you? Like, I've built your position around what I'm paying you. Like, I feel like Kyle wants Carl to understand that this is a small business. We're still trying to function properly. We have investors to answer to, and Carl is closer to the weeds than he's basically in a like C-suite type of position, right, with this company that is on the rise, versus if he was to go to a regular company, he wouldn't get such a high position and be able to see exactly what the ins and outs of the business are at this level. So I think that he is very I think that he isn't in full understanding as to what he needs to do to make this work. I think that he is overstating or overthinking what his position is. And maybe he's just not happy. Maybe he wants to go to a more established company and feel secure in his level of position within the organization and have guidelines to what his career is and what his next steps are, and if there is even a next level for him at this point. I don't know if he knows what the next level with Loverboy looks like, because again, this is a small business that they're trying to create as a big business. So two different platforms of business, okay? And I don't think that Carl has quite grasped that. Kyle, on the other hand, is thinking that Carl is only feeling like this because of Lindsay. He's like, she's the only variable that has changed in your life. We have been doing the same thing since you became a part of the company. Like, you're pretty much the face of the company, going out and selling the company. I would do it more if I could, but I'm very busy trying to keep the doors open and trying to keep this thing supplied with cash flow so that I can pay you and you can have the ability to go out here and sell the company. So I'm glad that they're having this conversation, because I feel like if they have to make a choice between their friendship and their working relationship, something has to go. You either need to end the working relationship so that you guys can strengthen your friendship, or you may end up losing both in the end. So I hope that this goes well for them. Let's see. Let's keep watching. So Carl and Kyle, Carl want to quit. Just go ahead and find somebody to replace him. Get somebody else to do it, because he ain't trying to do it no more, okay? I feel like Lindsay is getting into Carl's head just a little bit, but maybe she's just helping him to realize that this ain't really what he want to be doing. Kyle says that he feels like Loverboy was like a true testament to Carl's life and giving him purpose. The thing is, Kyle, everybody is not so in love with your business as much as you are. Maybe Carl is trying to find another way, okay? So you guys need to find a way to salvage your friendship, and I feel like making a separation as far as work is the only thing that's really going to truly make that happen for you. So I am a true optimistic. I hope that things get better for Kyle and Carl's friendship as a whole. Moving on, Gabby is crazy. Okay. Long story short, she don't want to be with a Cancer. Her ex-boyfriend and did some dirty stuff to her, and took another bird to Coachella that wasn't her. And now she is deemed all Cancers untrustworthy and not worth her time. So Jerez, which I don't even think was really checking for her in the beginning, I think he really liked Sam. She just kind of sent him on his merry way because he's a Cancer. Born July 14th, 6 days before me. I think I'm older than him, but I'm a Cancer, and I'm not crazy, but I guess she says she just only doesn't like male Cancers. Gabby, you're going to be single, honey, if you think a zodiac is going to help you find a man. That's a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But anyway, so now Maya sits down to have a conversation with Lindsay, and she's very defensive right off the bat. Now, usually I am not defending Lindsay, because Lindsay is cray-cray to me too. But Maya is coming at her like, I didn't like the way you talked to me, and do you think this and that? And Lindsay was like, Maya, I was trying to explain to you that I didn't think it was respectful for you to be texting Carl about smoking weed, and just sat up here and told you that I'm sitting here being sober with him because he's struggling with his sobriety. And you totally disregarded that, texting him about smoking weed. And I have a problem with that. Absolutely, I do. And I'm on Lindsay's side with this because if Maya knew that this man is struggling with his sobriety with alcohol, why would you now be texting him about some weed? Maybe he was sneaking and doing that with you and he wasn't supposed to. If you're talking to his girlfriend and she's sitting there telling you, girl, I done became sober with this man so that he can get his life together. Is smoking weed that serious for you? And why is being Carl's friend that big of a deal for you? Then you having a conversation with Lindsay. Lindsay is trying to explain herself. Yes, maybe Lindsay wasn't letting you talk right away when you wanted to speak, but she was trying to hear you out. You getting ready to walk off. Then you call the girl like, girl, you crazy. And Maya, go away from us with this, girl. Just get out of here. Can you get out of here, please? So finally they round this conversation out and they end up hugging each other because Maya is just doing it team too much. They hash it out and they are agreeing to coexist in the house. This is Maya and Lindsay, okay? Whew, I just, that is just way too much what this girl is doing. Like, why do you care so much? Moving on, they get back to the house. They're making burgers and whatnot, and Maya, Oliver is coming, her boyfriend. So they go and she's waiting on him to come, and she's in the room talking to the girls about her conversation with Lindsay. And Amanda thinks that Maya said that she gave Lindsay a hook, but she said no, I gave her a hug. We agreed to coexist in the house and move on, okay? So Oliver finally arrives. She has Kyle walk to the door instead to greet him, and then she hugs him, whatever. So yeah, they make burgers, and Kyle is up with, and Sam is up with him until the crack of dawn. He's playing skip something. They're just having a good old time getting drunk all over the house, and Sam is just his little wing lady for the evening, okay? They get up in the morning. Carl and Lindsay are going to brunch. Everybody packs up to get on up out of there. So Carl and Lindsay are at brunch and they meet with Danielle. So Lindsay is like, hey, you know, how was that conversation with Kyle? Like, she asked him about the conversation previously, but they didn't have a chance to talk. And because Kyle came in the room and checked in on them or whatever, and then they ended up hiding off in the bathroom and doing a little pumps in the butt, okay? So nobody could see them on the camera. So they went in the bathroom and had a little rendezvous. So at this brunch with Danielle was there this weekend because it was her brother's 30th birthday. But she wasn't in the house with the housemates because of that. She was basically partying with her family. So they're talking about the job, and Carl basically just sounds like he's unhappy. He feels like he's being overworked. He's not really into it. He's working in the alcohol industry, but he's sober. You know, it's probably just not as fun for him anymore. He probably needs to do something that doesn't involve alcohol. So Danielle is kind of chiming in and throwing her 2 cents in, and she not even ever really there. Like, I could see Lindsay really seeing what's going on because she has a bird's eye view of the action, front row seat. But Danielle, it seems like you have a bit too many feelings, not too much. You might want to mind your business, okay? Her relationship is going well with Rob. They have a little bit of a long distance thing going on, and she says whenever they're around each other, he always in the kitchen, but you love being around him. Girl, you like it, I love it. Mind your business, worry about your own relationship. Because you seem to be too involved with what's going on with Lindsay and Carl. So I don't even understand why she has so much to say about it. She feeling like Kyle is taking advantage of him. Here's the thing, when it's a small startup company, you end up really doing the work of 3 people's jobs. This is not a corporation yet where you have 11,000 employees. I don't think Carl is ready for that. Or I don't think that he is committed to that anymore. I think before he was losing jobs left and right. So this was an opportunity for him to have some stability for once. But now that he's been in it long enough and he's sober and he's not drinking anymore, now he want to do something else. And that's okay too. That's okay too. Danielle, mind your business. That's all. Mind your business. So everybody is back in New York and back to their normal lives for the week. Maya walking her dogs. Craig then came over, child, and she done made him some poached eggs, and she done revealed to him that she told him she makes the best poached eggs, but she was lying. Homegirl looked at a YouTube video, and I guess she found a good one because she ended up making them very well, because he said he loves when she makes them. So she confessed, yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. I watched a YouTube video. So then she was saying how most people talk about, oh, by the time I'm 30, this and that and the third. She's not really in a rush to take their relationship to the next level as far as marriage or having children. But that's kind of what you gotta, think about when you're dating somebody that's in their 20s. Craig, I believe, is in his late 30s. So if she really want to be out here playing around and not really trying to be serious, and he really wants to marry her at some point and have children, he has to think about that, because when you marry these young chicks, they ain't trying to buckle down right away. But, we'll see how their relationship goes. Paige said in episode 1 that she really loves him, even though their signs are not exactly zodiac approved. She's had the best sex ever with him. So we'll see how that go. Then we see Gabby with her parents. She's very attached to her parents. It looks like she has a sister. She's having lunch with her parents, and I just think that is so cute. Like, her interaction with her parents reminds me of Candace and her mom and her dad or whatever, even though her parents aren't married. Gabby's parents are married. But, of course, Candace's parents are married, but to other people. But, yeah, like, I love to see this. Like, I don't know why it is that people think that black people don't stay together, or they don't, have generational wealth for their children or teach them financial responsibilities. But it seems like she has generational wealth there with her family. They're at the country club. They're doing all these amazing things. Her parents are hanging out with her. She feels like there's like a codependency there ever since the C-19. Her dad seems very concerned about her and her relationship life. But I love her relationship with her parents. I think it's just so stinking cute. And Gabby got on my nerves with the whole Zodiac thing, but I'm interested to see more with Gabby. So then we round this this portion of the episode out with Kyle getting very frustrated because they've lost a huge client in California. And come to find out, Carl hasn't really made any touches with this client in the last 9 months. So when a vendor doesn't feel the love, or distributor in this situation doesn't feel the love, they decide to terminate the use of your product. So they terminated their agreement with Loverboy. And Kyle is upset because he's like, listen, you are saying that you're doing all these things. Like, we're questioning what you're doing. You talking about you working 90 hours a week, but what are you working and doing? Because you're not even included on this email where they're terminating their services. They're sending it to me. So what are you doing? What is your interaction with the distributor? You're supposed to be the VP of sales, but yet you're not even looped into what's going on. And by the way, you asking for money. What the heck are you doing right now? And then he wants to be paid more to travel, to go to other markets, to do things. And Kyle is just really giving him the side eye, like, you can't be serious. Like, I'm questioning what you're doing locally, because I don't feel like you really, I don't want to do this, but, I know we friends and all, but this is my business. This is my livelihood. This is my legacy. And you playing. You playing, sir. I don't know what's going to go on here. Amanda was even saying, this man is your friend. You don't have that face when you're talking to him. You have to tread lightly. And Kyle is at a breaking point where he's like, listen, at this point, I'm going to have to choose to preserve my friendship and end the working relationship with my friend. And honestly, I think that's what Kyle is going to end up having to do. So everybody comes back to the house. Sierra is actually here this time. And of course, Danielle is coming back to the house this time as well. So Maya arrives with Oliver. Everybody is getting acquainted, hugging each other, saying hello, all this, that, and the third. Of course, Carl and Lindsay are not there because they've traveled to Malibu to a wedding that Carl is going to be in. But there's this whole issue because apparently Carl did not let anybody at Loverboy know that he was leaving to go on this vacation, if you will. And they're having this whole crisis with losing the distributor. So as a VP of sales, you would think you would need to put your time in to take your time off. But clearly, he's like, I'm going to do whatever the heck I want to do, and what's it to you? So Kyle is feeling some type of way about that. Amanda is talking to Paige, and I think also Danielle. I'm not sure who else is sitting over there with her, but she's revealing to who she's talking to that Carl didn't let anybody know, and even she has to ask Kyle for time off. And she works in the company too. Everybody's looking for him. He's not showing up for meetings that they have scheduled because he's on said vacation. So there's a bit of a rocky situation going on right now with Carl and Kyle and Loverboy, the business as a whole. So somebody got to make some decisions real quick. All right, y'all. So Oliver came to just drop Maya off and he left. So now everybody is getting ready to go to dinner. All the ladies look cute. Gabby, it looked like somebody was walking by you and ripped the side of your pants off and half your butt hanging out. I guess because it's Versace, it's supposed to be cute. Whatever. And I forgot to talk about Sam and her roster. So clearly Chris must know that he's on the friends list because she talked about a man for every little thing that she need done, and he wasn't one of those men. So there was a conversation where he seems to be getting acquainted with Danielle because they both have similar heritages, I guess. So they have become close as friends or whatever. They're becoming friendly, even though he knows she has a boyfriend, but I think they just becoming cool because he's the new guy. She's trying to get to know everybody. So everybody gears up to go to this restaurant. Everybody goes to the restaurant. They sit down. Kyle is clearly upset that Mr. Carlton went on this whole vacation and didn't tell anybody. So he's talking to Maya. Maya is feeling awkward about the whole situation because they at first were talking about her conversation with Lindsay. Then he was talking about his conversation with Carl and how that went. And he's just feeling like there's a huge disconnect in their relationship. And it's at a point where he's going to have to do something to move forward in positivity with them. So he's feeling like Carl just really isn't pulling his weight, and he really feels like Lindsay is in his ear telling him that he's invaluable and that basically he can do better than this Loverboy job. And Kyle feels like he needs to kind of reel Carl back in and let him know that, listen, I'm happy for you in your relationship, but don't let your girl fool you. Here's my thing, Kyle. You don't need to have to try to convince nobody to do the job that you're paying them to do. If he's clearly exhibiting that he's not able to do it or capable of doing what you need him to do, it's time for you to move on. And you just need to work on your friendship and let your work relationship go. Because this right here, getting all worked up and doing all that, this is exactly why I would not want to do any type of business with my friends. Because you can't eat where you SHI, okay? And that's that on that. And now Danielle is all up in the Kool-Aid, don't know the flavor. She listening to the conversation, and now she chimes in talking about how they're overworking Carl and this, that, and the third. I'm like, girl, I'm gonna need you to mind your business because you don't even live in their house. You don't know what's going on. So why are you even having anything to say? Child, Danielle and Maya about to work my nerves this season. I already know. Child, Kyle and his mullet is really upset. So he walks away from the table and he is pissed off. Well, before he does that, he says that Carl came to work coked out, okay? And he had to tell him to stop doing that because that ain't right. is this really what you want to be saying at the table with all your friends? But I love how Amanda jumped in and she's really validating what Kyle is saying. She's like, listen, Carl really ain't pulling his weight. Like, I see it firsthand. I work for the company too, child. And listen, Kyle get on my nerves too. But listen, you know, the man is running a reputable business, child. And Carl just not pulling his weight. And Kyle has given him several chances. And it's really annoying. It really is annoying. So Kyle, you know, and his mullet comes back to the table. And Danielle is like, so Sierra comes down and sits in Kyle's seat. And she's literally eating his salmon off of his fork, which is disgusting. Sierra, we don't know where your mouth has been. We know what Kyle is doing with his mouth. But y'all a little too friendly for me. I can't. Moving on. So he sits in Sierra's seat and Danielle is like, I literally don't want you to sit there. I heard everything that you said about Carl, and, you know, literally that is not an excuse for you to not pay him more money. And Kyle is like, so he wants more money? Is that what his problem is? And she's like, well, first of all, so you done went on and snitched on him. That's what he wants. He wants him to pay him some more money. And Kyle is like, listen, he ain't even earning the check that I'm giving him right about now. And all the chances that I done gave him, this man couldn't even pay for a job when I was giving him opportunity. So, girl, why are you even here having anything to say? Because I was not talking to you at all. So I'm going to need you to eat your little salad and mind your business. That's all. Here's my thing. Kyle, listen, I've said it several times throughout this review. It is time to end the working relationship with Carl. It is very difficult to manage your friends. Very difficult. Okay? And that is just something that I would personally not want to do. You got to let that go. You got to let him go. Get somebody else. Get somebody else to do it. That's what you need to do. And Kyle even said it himself. If Carl left the company today, it wouldn't struggle at all. So clearly, he's been doing nothing for quite some time, and you've noticed it, and you haven't done anything simply because he's your friend. That's not enough for you to not put your foot down in your business. So y'all got to make some decisions, because this right here is getting foolish. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all for watching. That is my review for Summer House Season 7, Episode 1 and 2. Please, please, please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that is watching this show too. And I will see you in the next episode. Peace